Salutations everyone, I'm the Goldflower Reviewer, and welcome back to another Goldflower Reaction. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video from the much beloved Mafdominus, titled, Mario the Babysitter 10th Anniversary, the Retrospect. Now, Maf is honestly one of my favorite people in the SML community, especially the reviewing community, since we're limited to, 4 people? Him, Spooky, Mill City, I guess myself, even though I don't really review anymore. I mainly just do this. But I haven't seen a Mafdominus video in quite some time, ever since he kind of disappeared off the internet for a little bit. When he unlisted, I think he privated. I don't even think he unlisted. I think he privated all of his videos for a few months and just went completely off the radar. I get why he did that. He needed some space after the WH allegations, especially since Dub was one of his, I think, one of his closest people in the community. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, like I mentioned in the last reaction to the Soapy Soupy video, today, January 24th, is the 10-year anniversary of Mario the Babysitter, and therefore, the 10th anniversary of Jeffy as a character. It feels weird, almost, before I even get into it feels weird that Jeffy is older than most of the modern SML fan base. Like, it's so crazy because when you look at it, Jeffy is closer to the beginning of the channel than today. And that's a fact that makes me unreasonably angry. Because I don't like Jeffy. I hate Jeffy. You know, like him as a character, whatever. But him, the impact he caused and the negative effects that he brought onto the channel are so severe that any quality that he has as a character gets immediately thrown out the window. And I know some people can look past that and say, well, Jeffy's funny at times, and like, sure. But to me, Jeffy is like the complete mirror of Mama Luigi. Mama Luigi is my favorite SML character of all time. I don't think he'll ever be dethroned. There might be some characters that I like better at certain points. Like Prime Black Yoshi was arguably better than Mama Luigi. You know, 2016 Junior even could go up there. But Mama Luigi is my favorite because of how much he impacted the channel and how much good things came from his tenure as like the main cash cow, I suppose, or at least the main draw of Super Mario Logan for that time. Jeffy's the complete opposite. You know, where many people can look at Mama Luigi and say, okay, well, Mama Luigi doesn't really age that well. I'm not going to disagree with you, because part of it's just objective. But like saying that Mama Luigi didn't do anything good for the channel is just objectively wrong. But, you know, I'm already rambling. This is a 15-minute video, so let's get into it. Yeah, look at that Godzilla collection. That's actually prime. That's tier. WMF.
Been 10 years.
Is it sad that I'm already
10 years since you first showed up? I'd almost forgotten what it was like. The world before you showed up.
Damn.
You may just be a puppet, but you sure as hell made a big impact on my life. Where would I be without you? Well, I guess we should look back. Back to when you first showed up. Hello everybody, it's Mafdominus, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be talking about Mario the Babysitter for its 10th anniversary. I know, it's crazy, can you...
Yeah, okay, so WMAF, but I'm gonna be honest. Let me give my thoughts on the video before we even... Because my thoughts are way more abridged than, I suppose, what Math's gonna be talking about here. Mario the Babysitter, to me, is very similar to Junior's Macaroni. Whereas the video itself isn't necessarily all that noteworthy, the impact later on is immeasurable, because where Junior's Macaroni obviously introduced, not really introduced, but made Bowser Jr. a main character, essentially, and catapulted him into the main character scene. Mario the Babysitter both introduced and, well, actually, no, Jeffy wasn't an immediate hit. Jeffy was panned by the community for a while, and he didn't even show up again until like April with Game Night 3. But yeah, Mario the Babysitter is a very noteworthy video for all the wrong reasons.
I believe it's been 10 years since Mario the Babysitter came out. I am so old.
I know,
Oh,
bro.
God. I was only 12 years old when that video came out, my birthday being on February 27th, so I was just before 13.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think it's crazy that it's now been 10 years since Jeffy was first introduced into SML. And in that decade, Jeffy has become easily one of the most controversial characters in all of SML.
Motherfucker, he is the most controversial character in all of SML. Arguably, all of plush tubing. You know, it's so crazy, though, that one puppet can turn an entire ecosystem of YouTube upside down. Because plush tubing pre-Jeff, it's not even like Logan pre-Jeffy, post-Jeffy. It's plush tubing pre-Jeffy, post-Jeffy. Because after Jeffy appeared and became the hit that he plush tubing as a medium went through this sort of shift that I like to call the parodification era, where pretty much everyone was trying to bank on Jeffy's success and everyone pretty much stop trying to do things, or stop trying to do original ideas, and most of plush videos became SML parodies, or Jeffy parodies, I should say. And that era to me was so cheeks, simply because nobody was doing anything that was fun. You know, Crazy Mario Bros just started in 2017, so he didn't even really get his big push until way later. Richie, I don't remember. Was that when he started Path of the Psycho? Or was that 18? That had to be 17, because there's no fucking way he did that series in 1 year. I'll have to fact check, but Richie was kind of still underground, but just starting to come up into the main plush tuber scene. Cute Mario Bros was Cute Mario Bros. They didn't really change that much, but everyone after that is damn, what are we doing?
That much is obvious. But who would have thought that back in 2016, Jeffy would have had a big impact on the channel going forward? Jeffy is probably the entire reason that Logan managed to gain 1 million subscribers in 2016.
I was about to say, if you said period, I'd be like, hell no. I guarantee you, he would have reached 1 million by maybe 17 if he just stuck with Junior.
Original channel, because Jeffy videos easily became popular overnight. He was just this really edgy, special needs stereotype of a character that, because he was a puppet, easily appealed to kids, and kids are the ones that watch YouTube the most. So obviously it made sense why Jeffy would easily become a very popular character.
Now I will say, Jeffy, I hate to defend Jeffy, but I've seen this criticism a couple of times where it's oh, the Jeffy kids ruined SML. Not incorrect, but we're not going to act like Junior didn't have a chokehold on the SML community as well. Maybe not to as an extreme as Jeffy did, but Junior fans were still obnoxious in their own way. I would much rather deal with a Junior fan than a 2017 Jeffy fan, but that's only because of how many 2017 Jeffy fans there were, you know? Junior fans weren't as irritating, but that's only because they weren't nearly as loud.
But he was also controversial, like I said, because, well, aside from the fact that he's basically a special needs stereotype, his videos revolved around torturing Mario even if Mario did not deserve it, which is the bulk of the majority of these videos. Mario would often have a good reason to go against Jeffy, but because Jeffy is the main character and he's the one that people are likely to root for, Jeffy tends to torture Mario to the point where it gets really serious, such as accusing him of grape, getting him arrested.
And that's another thing. Junior videos with the Chef Pee-Pee torture were bad, and even the occasional Cody torture. Those were bad. Videos like Cody's birthday, Chef Pee-Pee quits, Chef Pee-Pee's lottery ticket, videos like that were hated and just overall despised by the community for a very good reason. The difference, though, is the fact that while Chef Pee-Pee torture, for example, was a big problem in 2014 and early 2015, by the time you reach the apartment era, it's slows down to the point where it's more funny than it is annoying. Mario torture never became funny. It never was funny, it never will be funny. Even when they do it in modern videos, how rare it is, from what I've seen, it's not funny, because while Chef Pee-Pee's an inherently kind of comical character, Mario's just your everyman that is simply trying to survive in most instances, and the plot just revolves around beating his ass for no reason. And that's what I think made most of the SML community, which I will talk about in this reaction if Maf doesn't already, hate Jeffy more than Junior, because while Junior videos were probably more hated at the time simply because of how many bad ones there were, Jeffy videos were way more hated vocally. Especially by the time Jeffy's Bad Word came out. Again, back when I reacted to Spooky's list, I said, for years, Jeffy's Bad Word topped the top 10 worst SML videos list. It didn't even change until 2020. And that's because damn near every 2020 SML video is top 10 material.
Being on the registered sex offender list, etc. Mario torture nowadays has kind of toned down a bit. I mean, aside from the fact that Mario is a completely different character now, Marvin and Jeffy videos tend to be more equal. If something bad happens to Marvin, usually something bad happens to Jeffy as well. In fact, I'd argue that nowadays Marvin and Jeffy actually seem to be a lot nicer to each other. At least from the modern videos that I've seen. Like I said in my AI video, I'm not subscribed to Logan anymore, so I'm not really caught up to anything, so please stop asking me why I'm just now making a video talking about the AI when I wasn't subscribed to Logan, so I couldn't have known back- Okay.
Yeah, I mean, AI SML is kind of stupid. I think just short little thoughts about that. I might react to his video if he made a video on SML AI. I think in certain instances it's okay, like with Jeffy's 21st birthday with the whole plane and car thing. That's acceptable. The Labubu, no. The fucking, what's it called? The one with Cody and Elvis. The clip I saw where it's like an AI crowd is like gang-a-lang. You couldn't have had the SML crew walk outside with t-shirts for 5 seconds and record a short 2-3 second long cheering scene. Like, is it that low? Is Logan this low effort now? This is why I say he needs to abolish the upload schedule, but we'll get to that.
Calm down. The point is, a lot has changed in these past 10 years since Jeffy was introduced, and there was just a lot of changes to the channel that I'm sure a lot of you already know.
Yep.
And a lot of those big changes were probably caused by Jeffy. It can all be traced back to Mario the Babysitter when he was first introduced.
No. Incorrect. And I'm actually gonna spout some ball knowledge. A lot of the changes that we can see in modern SML don't trace back to Mario the Babysitter. Jeffy does, and therefore technically yes, but most of the changes can be traced back to Jeffy's bad word. Because the overwhelming majority hatred for that video, I believe, pushed Logan into changing his content more. And for a time, I feel like any change that wasn't, like anything that wasn't Jeffy's bad word was seen as the best thing ever. You know? So anytime Logan would change something, it'd be like, oh, this is much better than what we had before, because the community didn't really, I want to say no hate, but I kind of don't like the old SML reviewing community. But the reviewing community did not look long term for a lot of things, and that's what I believe why we got stuff like the Jeffy cussing joke becoming pretty much his main character trait in 2017. Why a bunch of vulgar and immature jokes, like, they were there before, but they became like centralized with Jeffy in the following years, which ultimately led to the demonetization, which kicked the can down the road for the cease and desist. So that's fun.
Once he became the most popular character, the controversies followed. Logan became a bigger channel, but SML started to dwindle in quality, and those controversies ended up becoming mainstream, and yeah, I don't know why I'm summarizing all the problems. You all know what happened.
Yep.
Modern SML probably wouldn't be what it is today if it weren't for Jeffy. And like I said, Jeffy has changed quite a lot in personality in these past 10 years. He wasn't the same character as he was when he was first introduced. So it's just really interesting to look back on Mario the Babysitter when it first came out and just see how different Jeffy was back then. His humor, his personality, the way even Lance voiced the character. It's almost completely nothing like the Jeffy that we know in modern SML. Yeah. Now, I keep bringing up modern SML, but we should probably first take a look at what SML was like back in 2016 at the earliest. Because before Jeffy existed, Logan's most popular video series was Bowser Jr. videos, and it might be hard to believe, but back then Bowser Jr. was actually pretty controversial, at least when he first debuted.
No, I don't know about that one. I mean, technically, yeah, but like,
I mean, okay, hold on. When we're saying controversial, we're more so saying polarizing. He's not really controversial. It's not like Junior was causing uproar in the community. It was more like there is a divide between you don't like Junior, you do like Junior. That's pretty much it. It wasn't like Jeffy fan. Like with Jeffy, it was a war. With Junior, it was a disagreement. You know, because admittedly, if you don't like Junior era videos could still be funny. You know, But if you don't like Jeffy, you're not gonna like the Jeffy era because of how like Junior's centralization and Jeffy's centralization were so different. Junior was the main character of the video, yes, but the side characters got their own little spark and personality, humor, storylines, etc. Like Joseph, Cody, Chef Pee Pee, Bowser. With Jeffy, it went from Junior, Joseph, Cody, Brooklyn Guy, Bowser to Jeffy and friends. That's pretty much it.
2013/14 videos made Bowser Jr. out to be of a spoiled brat that always tortured Chef Pee Pee. So, Does that sound familiar to you? It's quite similar to how Jeffy tortured Mario in his early videos.
Yep.
Another reason why Bowser Jr. was very controversial when he first debuted was because he was taking away the spotlight from other characters like Shrek, Woody, Tony the Tiger, and Mario. And keep in mind, the fandom was way smaller than it is today, so it was pretty vocal that a lot of fans were just not a fan of Bowser Jr.
That's a good statistic. Statistically, at the beginning of 2013, from what I remember, Logan had, I believe, 90,000 subscribers when Junior was introduced. By midpoint 2015, it was like 150,000, which is a big gap, but keep in mind, that's like a year and a half, 2 years. With Jeffy, he started, Jeffy was introduced January 2016, so that's like 600,000, maybe 700,000. By the midpoint of 2017, Logan had like 2 mil. Like, that's a crazy increase.
But Logan kept making Bowser Jr. videos because he just liked making videos on Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
but
no
around
harm in
late
that.
2014 to early 2016, things started to change a little bit when Bowser Jr. actually started to improve a little bit. That's because they were introducing Joseph and Cody into the mix. By creating 2 characters that can bounce off of Jr., it creates a dynamic that is not only entertaining, but helps Jr. grow as a character, or at the very least, it helps him not to be a spoiled brat that always tortures Chef Pee Pee, because now he has 2 other characters he can bounce off of and become friends with. Now, that's not to say that Bowser Jr. videos were suddenly really popular and fans love him, but at the very least, they weren't as bad as how when Jr. first started, so I think that's why Bowser Jr. videos got less and less hate. So by the time of 2016, we got a lot of Bowser Jr. videos, but also around the same time, Mario and Rosalina had just gone together, so there was a lot more Mario videos as well. About time, because of Bowser Jr., there were less Mario videos than there were before.
Yeah, from like 2013 to 2015, Mario had like a grand total of like 10 solo videos. And that might not sound like too bad, but considering the fact that was beginning of the upload schedule and we were getting like 80 fucking videos a year, that's horrible.
In fact, late 2015 did get some videos involving the old characters, such as Shrek and Black Yoshi, though Woody videos still didn't seem to happen, even though they were teased when Mario first moved into the apartment.
That's interesting. And I'm probably not going to have another chance to talk about this, so I'm going to say it now. Woody's absence makes 0 sense. Like, yeah, Woody videos are, I suppose, more taxing to produce, especially on an upload schedule. But I don't know. I mean, Shrimpo Hunter, like, I do agree. Shrimpo Hunter 5 would like, because Woody said he'll retire if he killed the jumbo shrimp. And he killed the jumbo shrimp. So, yeah, he could retire. That could be the ending. It was never really specified or stated, but sure, we can take that as a canon ending. Woody just disappearing from the channel entirely makes no sense. So, because, like, I remember when Mario's family moves out, he says, "Oh, I'll take the balcony, chili boy," and it's like, was he just on the balcony for a year and a half and then disappeared when the new house happened and then came back for 2 videos and then left again?
Either way, before Mario the Babysitter first uploaded, SML's channel was mostly Junior videos, but we were starting to get some of the old characters back, even if it was every once in a while and not as often as the more popular Junior videos. So that was basically the state of SML before Jeffy. Now, before I go any further, I should probably tell you guys that Jeffy was a character that Logan seemed to have planned.
Math knows ball knowledge. So, I do know what he's talking about here. This is an SLL update from, I believe, 2012. Damn, look at the room, bro. I would kill to be in this room, bro, right now. Look at the room. Sorry.
And since
but yeah, fuck. Logan made this flash animation, I believe, of this kid in a red helmet going in a rocket machine. and it was like, I'm in a rocket ship, and it was I think he's gonna show it.
2012 at the very least.
Yep, right here.
When Logan revealed that he was actually going to make an animated series involving a Jeffy-like character. Now, he wasn't called Jeffy at the time, but he looked pretty similar, except the bicycle helmet is red, not blue. So it seems at the very least the concept of Jeffy was something that Logan has been coming up with for a while now, but he didn't do anything with it until 2016 when Jeffy first appeared. Originally, this was going to be a one-time character video where Jeffy was only going to appear in this video and he would never appear again.
Which, again, begs the damn question. How the fuck is a character so panned by the community and is meant to be a one-time character? How does that same character become the main flagship character of the channel not even 6 months later? It doesn't make sense.
Oh boy, did that not age well. But you can tell that this video was meant to be Jeffy's only appearance because the way the main characters treat Jeffy feels more like he is the conflict of the plot rather than trying to establish him as a new character for the...
That's what I'm saying. Me and Mav are on the same wavelength. I've said for years, Jeffy's not a character, he's a plot device. That's all he is. He's either a conflict or he's a contributor to the conflict. He doesn't have, like, he has a character, sure, but he's not treated as a character. Like, the plot doesn't revolve around, like, the characters don't revolve around the plot. The plot is Jeffy, and everyone revolves around him. He's a conflict, because the plot revolves around the conflict. Jeffy's parents revolves around Jeffy, but Nancy, you can say, oh, well, Nancy's the conflict. No. The way the plot is structured, Jeffy is more like a... I'm pissing off Jeffy fans, but Jeffy is more like a MacGuffin for not even just Jeffy's parents as well as the birthday videos. 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, maybe not 20th. 20th is probably the only time he, to me, in a main role that Jeffy actually feels like a contributor to the plot. But damn, it's like 19th or 18th and Jeffy's parents. Jeffy just exists to exist.
Series, and by the end of Mario the Babysitter, it turned out to all be a dream until it wasn't. So the ending was a little open-ended in the end, because he leaves the door open for Jeffy to appear in future videos, but if this was the only video he's gonna show up in, then it's a nice book close end that you don't have to worry about Jeffy appearing later down the line. And looking back on Mario the Babysitter, the video wasn't that bad, actually. In fact, a lot of the jokes that Jeffy makes actually land, well, knowing in hindsight that these jokes would eventually get repeated over and over again, but because it was the first time we ever see Jeffy, the actual jokes are executed pretty well.
You know, what he just said about the open-ended ending, I kind of feel like, I think I should get together with a bunch of SML reviewers, because I've always wanted to do that. I love collaborations. We should all get together and, like, accurately plan out what the hell SML would become if Jeffy was never introduced, or I guess rather if Jeffy stayed a one-time character.
Jeffy isn't really mean-spirited in this video. In fact, his personality was way different. He was a lot slower. He was genuinely a lot stupider back then. He didn't curse, he just acted like a special needs kid, which honestly I think that's what made Jeffy so funny in the first place. He was just this very dumb kid that just made these dumb choices, these dumb decisions that made the audience laugh. And the situations he got himself into weren't really all that edgy, and they weren't mean-spirited, it was just Jeffy doing some goofball things. Even in SML's reaction video to Mario the Babysitter, he does admit that he misses this version of Jeffy.
I miss Jeffy sounding like this more, because he was more slow.
And to be honest, I do too. There was just
Yeah, I mean, Jeffy kind of lost all of his appeal. Not that I ever liked Jeffy, but he lost most of his appeal after a certain point.
something so innocent about this Jeffy.
Then again, this is the Jeffy from Mario the Babysitter, or from Jeffy's Bad Word. That's also how Jeffy acted there, so hell no.
He wasn't some malicious guy who just cursed everywhere and was just incredibly rude and a spoiled brat. He was just a stupid kid. They didn't just do whatever they wanted with Jeffy, he had an actual definitive personality. And when he was driving Mario crazy, he wasn't doing anything malicious or anything really hurtful towards Mario. The humor comes from the fact that Mario just couldn't handle Jeffy's personality. And him over-exaggerating and freaking out was part of the humor, and there was no one getting hurt. And Rosalina wasn't 100% completely sympathetic towards Jeffy. She was uncomfortable with him a few times, which, believe me, that comes across as a huge shock. Brooklyn Guy was the only one who was even vaguely on Jeffy's side, and even then, that was because he was just doing his duty as a cop. And
I'm be dead ass. The whole SML rule of, or SML Police Department rule of finders keepers is still like hella funny, but also incredibly stupid.
Forcing a law that a guardian has to take care of a child that was randomly dumped in their apartment or something like that. It was a dumb law that was created just for this video. Honestly, this video,
the finders keepers law, is crazy.
Aged pretty well in retrospect because everybody was acting in character. There was nobody taking sides or anything. They were just doing what they were doing in character.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I see where he's going. Yeah, no, this is why I call Jeffy the cancerous tumor of SML, because he infected and molded every character to basically serve as a side character to him. Rosalina became far more idiotic and sympathetic towards him for whatever fucking reason. Mario became, like, pretty much lost all of his interesting character traits and just became generic stressed dad for a lot of the later Jeffy videos. And pretty much the only characters that weren't affected, like Brooklyn Guy, for example, was not really affected, but later down the line, he became Filler Guy. I mean, I guess you could chalk it up to Jeffy as well. See, what I mean, like, with Impact, it's so weird, because you could say, oh, Filler Guy, for example, is a Brooklyn Guy change, but if Jeffy was never introduced, I don't think Brooklyn Guy would have gone in that direction, you know? But really, with Jeffy, the only characters that weren't changed a lot were the Junior Joseph and Cody trio, because they barely interacted with him.
There were no mean-spirited jokes, and there was no Mario torture, and Jeffy wasn't annoying. His jokes actually landed. And because this was the first time a lot of iconic Jeffy jokes started to happen, there was no repeating the same jokes that get tiring after a couple of videos, because this was the first time Jeffy appeared. And with everything that was coming out at the time, when SML was making controversial videos like Cody's birthday and, the drone. We all remember that one. That pissed off the fan base a lot.
Yeah, the drone was like the original Jeffy's bad word in a lot of aspects, which is weird to me because I said this when Spooky was talking about what was it, the one where Cody got his fucking face tore up in acid and shit, got gum spit in his hair, whatever the video was. And he compared that to the Splinter from SpongeBob. I compare the drone from SML to the Splinter from SpongeBob because the gross out humor and the dismemberment was terrible because it was never really done before, and nobody knew how to react to it. So everyone just got pissed and mad, which is it's an adequate reaction. When I first viewed the video, I hated it too. But then again, looking back at it is like, if you don't find the drone gross, you just find it extremely boring. And what's worse is that it's an SML short. So how the fuck do you make an SML short boring?
This was easily one of the better videos that was coming out at the time. And because back then Logan was actually having fun with making videos and not just treating all of them like 9 to 7 jobs, you can tell the cast had way too much fun filming this. Actually, you don't even need me to tell you that. There's a bloopers video where they were just constantly laughing because of Jeffy, spanking his diaper. And everybody was just laughing their asses off. There was some genuine passion and fun with this video. They weren't trying to appeal to the fan base, and they weren't trying to fill a quota for a 3-video week. They were just having fun. So despite the fact that Jeffy is one of the most controversial characters in all of SML history, that became popular with kids that led to Logan making him a main character, but ended up making SML mainstream, and thus a lot of the more controversial stuff noticed by Nintendo and getting all the channels taken down, and now being forced to use modern puppets, and now doing all the things that he does nowadays. Whether you like him or hate him because of his modern interpretation, in his first appearance at the very least, he wasn't all that bad. And you can feel that this was made to be a one-time thing, and they were having fun with this character. And since none of the Jeffy tropes that are present in modern videos are in this video, Mario the Babysitter ended up aging pretty well.
Sure. I'll take that one. I can't really disagree. Everything he said there was kind of true.
Now, sure, even back then in his first appearance, Jeffy wasn't beloved by everybody.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Like I said, Jeffy was panned when he first introduced.
In fact, I do remember some SML reviewers like WH Dude and GameCube 300 didn't really warm up to Jeffy all that much, but he wasn't really hated.
I remember SML reviewer also was like fucking... I think Rev was really... I don't know. I don't remember if he was really mad, but I think he was in the same boat. Yes, I'm talking about SML reviewer into Grand 26. Excuse me.
All that much. In fact, some people nowadays look back on this video and think he was fine. And as for me, I remember exactly where I was when this video was first uploaded. To school, I was eating breakfast when the video dropped. I remember back then, SML videos tended to drop very early in the morning, Pacific time. So when I first saw this video, I thought, okay, Jeffy's a little weird looking and kind of ugly, but you know, there's some sympathy for him because he's this special needs kid that just randomly got abandoned in front of Mario's house. In fact, I remember that I answered the SML question at the end of the video, and it was, what would you do if Jeffy showed up at your front door? And I remember answering this question in the comment section on my old account that I would happily adopt Jeffy, so I think I wouldn't be adopting him if I knew how he would.
You would adopt this motherfucker? Hold on. Sarah. No, I'm trolling.
Turn out in the future.
Damn, I need to start making plush videos again. It's been like 3 months. Damn, I don't know why I just randomly said that. I've been working on this channel for so long.
But you can tell that even back then, yeah, I didn't exactly think he was my favorite character or anything, but he wasn't all that bad. It's crazy to think in a what-if scenario, what would happen if this was a one-and-done video, that this was the only appearance of Jeffy and Logan never brought him back. Would he have still made 1 million subscribers in the exact same year Jeffy first appeared in? Would he be in that same mansion he is nowadays? Would he even have Lily, at least in the same way that she would have turned out?
Well, sir, I don't think we're talking about the real problems here. You're asking, would Lily still be born? And you're implying the WH2 theory of, is Chili a gold digger and only stayed with Logan because Jeffy was popular, right? Now, as a pig, I don't think so. But, you're not on anything.
That, I can't do the Dusty voice anymore. I mean, I can, but holy shit, that hurt.
Who knows what could have happened if Jeffy didn't become popular and Logan decided to reuse him in future videos.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened, but it is crazy to think that in these past 10 years, everything that has happened from the growth of my channel to where I am today.
Oh yeah, Mafdominus was Maf's first video Mario the Babysitter? No, it was Jeffy's bad word. Damn, so I don't think Maf would even have a reviewing career, really.
To Logan becoming really popular, but at the same time his old channel is being taken down, and what he does nowadays with modern puppets and in a tight schedule, all of it happened because of this
Jeffy,
one video.
That's crazy.
This is just one big ass example of the butterfly effect, because if it weren't for this video, I wouldn't have met so many friends. I wouldn't got to do so many crazy things on this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Jeffy appearing in this one video that led to everything. This one video changed the course of Logan's life and my own life forever.
Everyone's
and now 10 years later, after everything that's happened, was it all worth it?
Hell no. Sorry to ruin this potential happy ending, but actually I'm gonna be a little sentimental here. Part of me wishes that I'm never gonna be one of those people. I'm never gonna be one of those people that's like, oh, I was born in the wrong generation. But I do wish that I was a little older at a different time, because I really do I kind of do wish, or at least wonder sometimes, what would it be like to review SML pre Jeffy? Because Jeffy put this sphere of hate and distrust and just turmoil and disagreement in the community that sparked up so many beefs and wars to the point where it killed the community for several years. And right when the community was building itself back up, then we get back-to-back SMR, Ray Rants, WH Dude, and it's like, damn, can we just catch a break, brother? I'm not saying Jeffy was the catalyst for all that either. Because I'm not gonna act like SML reviewer, WHU, and the old reviewing community weren't, already getting, pressed over the drone or Bowser's Depression or the Disney World videos. But at least then it was more fun. At least from what I remember, from what I see from the archived videos, I don't know. That's just something that I think about sometimes.
Well, I don't know, but at the very least, Mario the Babysitter wasn't a bad video even when it first came out. And as for Jeffy, well, I can't say I'm a huge fan of the character, and I can't say I've always liked him. He's had his ups and downs, and quite frankly, it's just a little bit more nuanced. Then my relationship with this character is that he's just a puppet.
Yep.
And yet, this puppet had a huge effect on everybody's lives. Somehow. Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, I'll never know unless I go to another universe to see what could have been. At the very least, what I can say in this world, my life certainly got interesting because of this character's existence.
Yep.
I don't have to like him or even take him all that seriously, but it would be a lie if I didn't say he had a huge impact. But those are just my thoughts on this retrospect on Mario the Babysitter. What do you guys think? Did you like this video when it first came out, or did you hate it? Leave a comment down below, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and all that YouTube jazz. And I'll see you all in the next video. I guess I should close off with the fact that, god damn, it's 10 years. 10 years this guy has existed.
That ending kind of made me sad. I don't know why. Maybe it's like it's been 10 years since this saga of controversy and community turmoil began. Or maybe it's because I'm just realizing that we all got so pressed and mad at each other over a damn puppet series. I'm never gonna say it's just a plush video or don't like it, don't watch. Because like I said last time, those are two of my least favorite arguments. But to a certain extent, I feel like we did take things a little too seriously. By we, I mean the SML reviewing community, because I was there, but I wasn't reviewing at the time. Maybe that's a video for another day. We got, 12 seconds left? Let's see.
10 years, oh my god.
Okay, so it's just end screen. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 37 minutes into this reaction of a 15-minute video. I really need to shorten my yapping. Or rather, I guess I should just make an actual damn video instead of reacting to other people's content. But yeah, that was Mafdominus's retrospect on Mario the Babysitter turning 10 years old today. I already have a closing bit for this. With that said, I'm the GoldFlowerReviewer, and I'll see you all in the next video.